Welcome back. This is still News Insights. And on this segment, we'll be talking about the ban of foreign use. You know how they say, oh, they want to strengthen the Naira.
Yeah.
And as much as they're saying don't to strengthen the Naira, most, let me say, some businesses are still using foreign currency to make business transactions. And now there's a bill that has been passed on the ban of foreign currency. Engineer Kingsley, please, let's hear from you.
I think this bill is overdue. You know, a lot of people are going to argue that it's not by forcing Naira to be down or low or whatever, the rate of exchange to dollar. The truth remains that if we have no need of dollar, the exchange rate will not be high. The question is, what are the areas we use this dollar? Where do we use them? We use it locally, which should not happen. You know, outside the fact that when we produce more, we are going to have less need of dollar for, you know, for forex, for transaction like import and export issues. You know, by the time we produce more, we have no need of importing anything, for example. Okay. So we use it locally, and it shouldn't happen.
So, yes.
It shouldn't happen. Go to people's houses, storing dollar, saving dollar, you know, against Naira.
Even nowadays,
Speculation.
there are even like companies that pay.
Yeah, pay people
Yes,
in dollar.
dollar,
Why do you
yes.
dollarize our economy? You shouldn't dollarize our economy. So I think this bill is overdue. It's a welcome bill if they should make it to pass through. This is just first reading. They still have a long way to go. But I think it's the right time everybody will join into the steam and start singing about this bill. Okay? Local transactions, local settlements should be done purely on Naira. Even our own export, they should even buy it in Naira. Like dollar, like crude oil that we have, they should buy it in Naira. So that we enhance the... a lot of people say, oh, when you earn enough foreign exchange, dollar will come down, blah, blah, blah. Foreign countries also earn foreign exchange. And I don't see Naira there. You understand? In as much as dollar is this international currency, you don't have dollar in many countries. They don't really use it. We shouldn't use it here. If you have dollar here, there should be an authority asking you, what is this dollar for? If you say for you are traveling, maybe for traveling allowance, there should be a document showing that bank gave you this $2,000 to travel. And those are quite insignificant compared to what we are suffering. I think it's a welcome bill in general.
Barrister Philip.
Thank you very much. You know, we must, as a matter of fact, thank Senator Ned Woko for this initiative. The good thing is that the bill has passed through first reading and is going to the committee stage, and then we come back for second reading and then third reading and passage into law. We hope that it will garner the support it needs. Like I said, it has a long way to go. After the Senate, the House of Reps also has to do the same, and then there has to be a joint session before it can be sent to the president for assent. Having said that, we want to speak on the advantage of this bill. The bill is a bill to prohibit the use of foreign currency in Nigeria, which means it's not only about dollars. It talks
Others, pound sterling,
euro,
euros,
and all of that. You know, the beauty of this bill, like he said, if we want to, in our export, people should be, the people who are buying our crude oil should be struggling to get enough Naira to pay for our crude oil. You see that it will reduce, you know, it will increase the value of our Naira, and it will reduce the passion for dollars. Because if you don't have the use of the dollars, this domestic Naira account and all of that, it won't be necessary, because everything you'll be doing in Nigeria has to do with Naira. So it's a very welcome development. We ask every single member of the National Assembly, the Senate, and the House of Reps to support this bill if we really want to move forward. Today, we are talking with anybody who say, oh, how much is that translate to in dollars? It's very sad. And the man gave example of Morocco for the past 35 years. Morocco has still with this bill. I know it's an in-law to Morocco, so he knows what he's talking about. You know, their currency has remained very stable because everything you do in Morocco, you do with their dirham. Is their local currency. Nothing more, nothing less. If they want to go out, they can find a way. You see, it will strengthen the Naira, like he rightly said. It will strengthen the Naira, and that way, boost the economy. Because today everybody wants to, in fact, it's a no palace. People want to do proper real business. Said, can you pay me in dollars? Because they want cash. Because if you want to carry that volume of money in Naira, it will be like a whole sack. So this thing should be discouraged. It should be discouraged. And I think it's a proper bill and should allow it to pass.
Okay, Engineer Kinsley.
Yeah, a lot of advantages are going to come out from there. By the time you allow local transactions to be done fully in Naira, you realize that the areas of stimulating local production, because sometimes our local production requires foreign raw materials. Okay, we don't have all the raw materials here. Then you now have dollar strictly left for those legitimate need or use of dollar. So that when they approach central bank for it, central bank through their firm can provide those dollar for them to get those raw materials for production. And at the end of the day, those production is a cyclic effect. We end up also saving dollar for us. Even at the end of the day, it's going to affect the entire economy. You will realize that this dollar thing, what do we need dollar for in most cases? What do we need dollar for? As of today, the Dangote refinery is working. We expect the dollar to crash completely, but it hasn't. It hasn't, because people are locally using dollar. They are locally using dollar to hedge Naira, using dollar to store their value. What is wrong with our own currency? Paying transaction and then making payments using dollar. It's not right, okay? The argument they are going to bring at the end of the day is that we are trying to force dollar down. And the truth remains that if we can force it down, let's force it down at this point.
Maybe something we can do.
Yes, the nation, people have suffered enough. Why are you dollarizing our economy? The people that really need the dollar, which are the importers of raw materials for our own productions, they can't find it.
I think this bill, like he said, is the surest way of forcing the dollar down.
Yes.
Like he said, if everything is done with our local currency, the only people that had needs for the dollars will be the people the dollar will be available for. That way, you see that the dollar has gone away from the system. That there's no room, there's no need. Like he said, every country earns foreign revenue. But we have never seen any country earning their revenue in Naira. Why should we earn our own in dollars or in euro or in pounds? If the so-called loan we are taking in, they should be coming in Naira. Nothing should be done with. If the World Bank, for instance, want to give us loan, it should give us loan in Naira. Everything that has to do with transaction in this country should be in our local currency. I think the bill should be supported by all so that it can pass with speed of light and becomes a law.
Okay, so he was talking about it just passing the first reading, that it has other processes that it has to pass. So you know how Nigeria is now. There are some people that will want to stop this bill from being passed into law. What can you say about that?
I know where you are going. As a matter of fact, if there is any Nigerian expecting him or her hands be greased before supporting this bill, I will be wondering if you are a patriotic Nigerian. If you need somebody to come and appeal to you, any legislator that thinks somebody should come and appeal to him or her in order to pass this bill, I wonder if you are a patriotic Nigerian, okay? Because this is the bill that is going to help the entire nation. We don't have any other country that belongs to us. Yes, those processes are there. The second reading is coming. In some cases, if you are not close to the Senate president, he might not even present the bill.
He might not be listed in
but the Senate president needs this bill. He's a Nigerian. Every
Nigerian, everybody needs this bill to go through.
Yes.
So that we can have a breath of air.
It's not a matter of, as a matter of fact, my idea was that if I happen to find my way into the Senate, this is one of the bills I have in mind to present. Now, it's not it shouldn't be a political score point for other senators that it was Ned that brought it.
Yes.
It's a matter of Nigeria. This bill is needed by all Nigerians. You understand? So when it comes to that point and it's getting to being stored, we'll raise the alarm like we're raising support for it today. And I believe a lot of people will come on board.
Okay, Barrister Philip.
Yes, you see, like this bill, most especially is for the manufacturing industry, because it will help their business. Like he said, we are raising support for the bill today. We will go further to raise more support. And anybody who wants to store this bill, Nigerians should come out against that person.
That's right.
Like he said, any legislator that would ask to be induced before supporting this bill, then it should be recalled from the House or from the Senate. Because he doesn't have an interest at heart. If you say we cannot, a bill that is saying that we should do all our transaction and trading financial transactions in our local currency, are saying that we are going to speak against it. You want us to transact in dollar, in euro, in pounds because of your selfish interest. You should be stoned.
You see, I think Nigeria is at a point where we must get it right. And anything that looks like pointed towards that direction, we should all support it. So I'm looking up to that senator or that legislator, House of Rep member, that would say, oh, this bill is not in our own interest. Then the person should let us start using dollar.
No, the person should tell us. You should tell us what our interest
Yes,
is.
what's our interest?
Whether
in
the American
dollar.
interest is his interest, or
Yes.
British interest, or the
Or
Nigerian interest.
if you have problem with Nigerian Naira,
Then let us know.
the person should let us know. So we don't need to start greasing your hand
Yes.
or doing anything or, you know.
I think if this is the only thing that Woko achieved in the Senate, he has
Yes,
achieved
that's
everything
right.
for the data non-senatorial people.
Okay.
So this is a good bill.
Okay.
You can't take it away from him.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing your insights on this. This is still News Insights. I am Pelumi. We'll be right back.